Welcome to Guitars and Bacon. My name is John. So you want to put drums in your songs, but you can't play drums and you don't know anyone who plays drums. That's perfect. Keep watching. Just a reminder, if you want to hang out, chat, see me make music, check me out on my live streams. I stream on Twitch every Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, 5 a.m. EST, and that's 5 p.m. Philippine time. You wish it was just that easy to create drum sounds? Well, it could be. In this video, I'm going to be teaching you how to put drum parts in your song using MIDI.
What is MIDI?
MIDI is Musical Instrument Digital Interface. To keep things simple, you're basically creating digital signals that trigger responses from your computer, either through a drum sound or musical notes.
So how do we trigger those signals?
Well, you can use MIDI controllers like a MIDI keyboard or drum pads or even an electronic drum kit.
But I don't have money to buy those.
Well, there are alternatives, which we're going to be talking about today. Let's start off first by getting what you need to get started on programming drums. Like with this previous video right here, you'll be using a VST plugin to simulate a drum kit. There are plenty of virtual instruments that can make absolutely amazing drum sounds, like Easy Drummer, Addictive Drums. But for today, we're actually going to be using a free option which you can download online, which is called SSD5 Free Edition. SSD5 Free Edition is actually a great choice. For one, it's free, and the sound isn't actually harsh like other drum kits. So it's great for doing that acoustic drum kit sound that you're trying to go for. So we're going to go and check out the DAW so you can see what's happening. Now to save up on time, I've already installed SSD5 Free here. So I'll be guiding you guys on how to actually access it using your DAW. This time I'm actually using Reaper as well. So follow along if you can. So I've created a track which you're going to need to do when you're recording your drums. You actually need to click on Effects, go to VSTi, and you'll be able to find the SSD Sampler 5 here. Now that's the interface. It looks pretty simple, and you got your drum kit here. Now what you need to do to start off is you need to click on the kit, so it will actually load the different samples of drum sounds. Now let's get back to programming drums. Now I mentioned there are a couple of alternatives that you can do. First way is you actually manually key in the drum sounds yourself. So what you're going to need to do first is you're actually going to need to go to Insert and create or insert a new MIDI item. So it's created a MIDI item from the highlighted area here, but it should pop up in your track anyways. Now, if you double click on that, you'll actually be taken into a grid, which you're seeing here on this window. So each piano key actually has a dedicated sound that comes along with it. Can you hear that? So it's different for each note, and you actually trigger one of the drum sounds by clicking on one of the notes. So to make things easier for you, because as you can see, the keyboards or the keys actually don't have an indication of which part of your drum kit they are. What you can actually do is you can double right click on one of them and you'll be able to rename the notes. So since this is a kick, definitely, so I'll name this one as kick. I've renamed all of the notes here on the piano roll, as you can see here. They have their own equivalent sound. Now, what you can do is you can manually key it in, and clicking on the grid actually produces another box that fills that particular area. So we can do it like this. Just click on it, and then click. Now, if you press rewind and click play, the cursor is actually going to pass through the notes, and it's going to trigger the kick. See? So that's how you basically program your drums. So you're eventually going to get used to the speed and timing of it, and then you'll be able to formulate when you're going to be jotting down which notes to trigger first. It's a simple drum beat. And it's there. You can copy paste those things, so it'll be much quicker. And there you go. There is another option if you feel that mapping out drums this way is too difficult. Another method of programming MIDI drums is actually through the use of a keyboard. And no, I'm not talking about the long piano-like keyboards that has drum pads on it. Like I said, we're gonna go for the alternative. So we're actually going to use your keyboard. Make sure that your monitoring is turned on, and you're going to need to right click on the arm button. Now once you're there, go to record MIDI overdub and replace, and make sure that record MIDI overdub is clicked. Now just arm your track again and choose the appropriate input. Make sure that you're going to need to go to virtual MIDI keyboard and click on all channels. Now the noise disappeared because it's actually now going to be recording what's coming from the virtual MIDI keyboard. Go to view and just click on virtual MIDI keyboard. So on that virtual keyboard, you'll be able to click on it, and it'll trigger the sounds that you're trying to make. So for this one, V is a kick drum. Onto my keyboard so you guys can see what's happening. And that's the snare. So what you're going to need to do is make sure that the virtual keyboard is on, because as you can see, it's not working if it's not turned on. So I'm going to turn it back on again. Hit rewind. And just like before, you're also going to need to create a new MIDI item. Now once that's created, you can click rewind just to make sure that you're on the very first or the start of the track, and click record. But don't forget to have your virtual MIDI keyboard turned on. So just click record and click on your virtual MIDI keyboard. See? Pretty simple. You can record all of the drum sounds if you're actually agile enough, but I'm not. So what I generally do is I actually program separate parts. So for instance, I'm going to be turning on the metronome just to make things a little bit easier. I'm going to be creating a very simple beat using the virtual keyboard and my actual physical keyboard. So I'm going to create by inserting a new MIDI item. Then hit record. Make sure that you've clicked the virtual keyboard. Now I want to add some kicks and snare to that. So kicks are V and B for snare. So we'll start with that. Pretty simple. It's just a bit tricky when you're actually programming it, but the thought is pretty straightforward, as you can see. And there you have it. See? Pretty easy, right? Not really. Well, don't worry about it. You're eventually gonna get used to it if you practice long enough. So I'm sure you're gonna get the hang of it. Well, that concludes my video. Hope you enjoyed it. If you liked the video, click like. Leave a comment below if you'd like to make a suggestion on what video you'd like to see, or if you'd like to comment on the video itself. Click subscribe and hit that bell notification icon to be one of the first people to get notified once new content is out. Oh, and one more reminder. If you want to talk about music, gear, my videos, and see me write songs live, check me out on my live stream. I stream on Twitch every Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, 5 a.m. EST, that's 5 p.m. Philippine time. Well, hope you guys enjoyed the video, chill out, and rock and roll.